What's up, everybody? We're back. I think this is episode 59. If I'm,
That's it.
I think 59. Last week I assumed it was 69, but
Nice.
we're 10 away. We're 10 away from me actually being right. So if we just keep doing these, eventually we're going to hit 69, and it'll be happy 69th anniversary. So, I'm excited to be here. Alan cannot be here. He is in a dinosaur bone class, and I guess he watched Jurassic Park, the new movie, and so he's actually taking an archaeology dinosaur bone class tonight, and he couldn't make it.
Wasn't there like a side piece where it was like surviving a dinosaur invasion of a city or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a role play. You know how they do the LARPing. I don't know if like there's actually dinosaurs that he's being chased by, or he is a dinosaur.
That's funny.
So I don't know. If you guys see him or talk to him, please ask him about the dinosaur class.
Good for him, man.
Here, he's blown us off for dinosaurs, which I loved dinosaurs as a kid. I still kind of do. I would watch the Jurassic Park movie, the new Jurassic World, but I don't know that I would blow you guys off for dinosaur bone.
Yeah, he should really feel guilty. I mean, choosing that whole class over us. I mean,
I was a little taken aback when he told me that, but you know, everybody's got their own thing. You know, I like statues. He likes dinosaurs. So
we're all serial hobbyists, Greg. You know, so maybe he's found a new calling.
I just have to be supportive of the man, I guess. So
we all should. Who knows what you'll? I mean, I might be going off to do something similar. You know, like LARPing as Maverick from Top Gun or something. You never know.
I mean, I'm sure it's happening right now in a park somewhere. So
probably.
I'm not against it. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but yeah, he's doing that. So it's you and me tonight.
Yep.
So I look forward to having a nice little chat with you. As you can see, the background, it's the new Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
What'd you think?
I watched it tonight.
All right.
My family and I watched it tonight. I liked it. There were a lot of throwbacks to my old favorites, a lot of the 90s stuff, a lot of the 2000 stuff. Some stuff was pretty recent. I think there was a Doc McStuffins, and that's from like 5 years ago. So
awesome.
My daughter actually she was like, "Did you see Doc McStuffins?" And I was like, "Yeah." But it was really cool. I won't give away any spoilers.
I haven't seen it yet. I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it was really fun. It's a cool. If you have any ties to Chip and Dale and the Rescue Rangers at all, you're gonna enjoy this movie.
Okay.
Just even on a superficial surface level, you're still gonna enjoy it. Just because it's nice seeing these characters, and then some of the references you'll get, some of the pictures and the Easter eggs. It's an enjoyable movie. I think IGN gave it a 7 out of 10. I would probably say 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
But
I mean, that's entertaining enough.
It's not a masterpiece, but it's entertaining. I would watch a 4 out of 10 movie, and I've watched a lot of 4 out of 10 just to see.
That was it. Battlefield Earth. What is it? 2020? What was that? I can't remember the name of it. John Travolta was in it.
Okay.
Remember the sniper from Saving Private Ryan? I remember that was voted like the worst movie ever made. And Batman and Robin as well. You remember with George Clooney? And I
don't know. We were kids at that point. Everything was good. You don't really have a great judge a character as a kid. You're like, this was the best movie ever, and it's garbage.
Sure. I still can't watch Phantom Menace. I do like the other ones, but there's a few of those like low-rated movies I still can't do it, man. But this sounds like a fun movie for sure. Now Elliot, on the other hand, did she give it high praise? You know, as a kid, because she did.
Yeah, she definitely liked it. She thought it was a good movie.
Especially because you remember it as a kid, you know, so like hearing about it through her eyes as opposed to yours, having already seen them.
She's actually watched a few episodes. I've shown her a few old school DuckTales, and I've shown her a few Chip and Dale and Ghostbusters. So she's seen a few episodes, but she enjoyed it too. She thought it was a good movie. But again, it's hard for her not to like a movie. It's got to be. I took her to go see the new Ghostbusters, and she was scared. She was.
That's
She
funny.
said that movie gave her nightmares. So she was, when I told her we were watching Rescue Rangers, she didn't know it was Chip and Dale.
Okay.
She was like, "This movie's going to give me nightmares." And I was like, "It's not that kind of movie. It's not that kind of movie." So I'm like, I feel like for years now, I'm not going to hear the end of it about how I scared her that one time taking her to Ghostbusters.
My dad still reminds me of taking me to Ninja Turtles, the first one. And if you've seen the first Ninja Turtles, the OG, it was pretty dark and scary.
Very dark.
That, and he took me to the first Batman. They're very close when they came out, and I was legit scared for both.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember like the rooftop battle in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're fighting him one-on-one, and like Donnie goes flying toward I thought he was going to fall off the edge. So I like remember freaking out. Oh, yeah. It scared me.
I actually got to meet April O'Neil.
Did you?
Yeah, it was the first April O'Neil. She was in Nashville, and she was at like a cafe, and I was at the same cafe, and I saw her, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're April O'Neil!" And she was laughing because she was in the Nashville TV show, so that's why she was here.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And so I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're April O'Neil," and she laughed, and she was like, "Yes," and I said, "I love you."
That's awesome.
I was like, I will never forget what you did for me. And you were in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's my jam. And she laughed and said, like, a lot of guys my age say similar things because she was such a staple for us for that movie.
It would have been nice for her to stick it out for the next movies.
But
she was really good in that first one, you know, especially when she tries to like hit the Foot Clan guy in the face with her purse, like, and then she gets the, you know, sigh, and guy just kicks it away, you know.
That was a good one. But yeah, it was funny. I got to meet her. That was cool.
Hey, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I haven't had anything like that happen. I mean, a few people come through Sitka here, like go fishing and stuff.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is when they come through, most people are like, "Oh yeah, Kevin Costner came through and saw him at the store," and I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" Off on they went. You know, I think it's nice here. People like to just keep it pretty chill. Yeah, except when the Deadliest Catch guys came, everybody thought they were super cool. I'm like, I mean, shoot, I've been seeing these boats since I was a little kid fishing with my dad. They're just, you know, I didn't think anything of it.
I was obsessed with that show.
That's hilarious.
It was, I don't know, it was probably like 2006 or 8 or somewhere around there.
That's when it started.
Yeah. But I could not stop. I watched that like nonstop. They had like marathons, and I would just watch it. I couldn't get enough of that show. I actually thought, I was like, this was before I got a job, and I was like, I think I'm gonna move up and become a
Dad, I'm glad you didn't do that because it's not as glorious, man. I mean, my stepdad did that before it was ever publicized that way, and it is hard work. I mean, you were up all the time for like almost a month straight working, and then
that's what they say. Like, and you know, you watch them, and they're barely sleeping. They sleep like an hour, and they have to go work, and then they sleep for an hour.
It's brutal, dude. I give those guys. I mean, I'm glad that they kind of brought light to it, but it's back in the OG days, the first 2 or 3 seasons. I thought it depicted it very well, and then I found out some things that they started doing behind the scenes. For instance, one of the captains now, he still can't drive a boat or park a boat very well. So they keep a captain on there that you never see on camera that actually parks the boat when the cameras aren't rolling. So, and it's still really cool for people to see that, but it's, I really like their originality of when it first kind of came along. It felt like it was raw.
It was some of the, every once in a while they capture lightning in a bottle. And that show, I feel like it was very good. It was captivating. I just wanted to watch more episodes.
Right.
And, they talked about how much money they made, and you have to like work your butt off, but they made so much money in that little time span. I thought for sure I could do. I was like, I'm going to go be a crab fisherman.
One thing they don't tell you too is that the IRS kills you at tax time because you don't get any taxes taken out. And as having fished for years, ended up being a huge waste of money because when you don't make a lot and you're still working your butt off, what was the point? I could have gone and done something else and made more money and been comfortable at home. So.
High risk, high reward, but it could go the opposite direction. So that was something I'm glad I'm in the long term. I'm glad I did not go crab fishing. It seemed really cool, and Deadliest Catch was trying to lure me in. with their own.
It's just like Top Gun lured all those people in the very first time. All the people signed up to go fly fighter pilot or fighter jets, and they're stuck in the freaking deck on like 15 decks below doing laundry.
Yeah, it's like when you play like a RPG or something, and like the Star Wars game, you think you're going to be Darth Vader, and you end up being like the little foot soldier dude, and you're just one in like 6,000.
Yeah,
and you're not. You're just
right. Yeah, it's funny. Yep, that's basically how it is. Well, I'd say that you did the right thing in not doing that for sure.
I think so. You know, I'm wondering. You know, you said you had a few people come in to Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you're like a YouTube star, you could ask to interview them. You know, have them on and do an interview.
Yeah, I don't know if I've made it quite that big yet.
I mean, I don't know. You gotta like a name drop from your boy.
From Marc-Andre Fleury, yeah, a quick one. That would be a fun thing. That's the ultimate goal, I think. Just as much as I'm sure you'd love to have like Tim Salmon come on here and talk to him for like 15 minutes.
Dude, that would.
Yeah, I mean, not only to talk about the collection, obviously, but then to just talk to him about his viewpoints on people having collections. B, confirm that he really did, or that Mark Langston gave Tim Salmon's card to that guy. I still don't believe that. And then, just to have a chance to tell him that you appreciate his game. I think I would love to do that with Fleury too, even for 10, 15 minutes, just because, it would be really cool, just to have that interaction. And I think Tim and Marc-Andre both seem to not be like, oh, I just love being so famous and everything about me. They seem really down to earth guys. Tim Salmon still hangs out at the Angels games a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah. He does some coaching. He does some broadcasting. I think he was coaching his kids are older now, but he was coaching his kids' little league team, which is
nice.
That's a pretty accessible dude. He's not trying to isolate himself, and he's not better than So I think I would have to like take a couple of deep breaths to introduce Tim Salmon, because I would probably be like a little kid, just mesmerized, my eyes wide open. I wouldn't be able to say anything.
That would be really cool though for you. I mean, I think we spend all this time and money, thinking about and buying these cards and getting art of these players, and they're just people like you and me.
Right.
That's what I kept telling myself, was like, yeah, it's really cool that Marc-Andre sent me this video, and people are commenting, oh my gosh, this would be a dream come true. And I mean, it was cool, but I have to remember, like, I'm sure there's people that look up to you in your career and think that you're an amazing person, a hero, whatever. Same for me as a teacher. Like, we're all just people. And so I tried to like humanize the experience so that I didn't like, oh my God, that whole like April O'Neil, like just try to just, and I was able to send him, I've recorded him a video from this spot here in my room and told him the story when I had a chance to meet him. And I decided to let him walk by because he was pulled from the game. And he and his agent said that they watched it and liked it. So I've just been waiting for free agency to kind of start up, and then I was going to send him a request to maybe hop on. So we'll see about that. I don't know. I have to get the courage to do it.
You got to try. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so you got to try.
That's correct. Correct.
I send like an Instagram message to Tim Salmon. He hasn't read it. It's been 2 years now, but whatever.
There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way, like through the Angels PR or something, if you really wanted to,
Yeah. I was talking to Andrew. He sent 2 cards, and Tim Salmon signed them. So he actually got the cards to Salmon, and Salmon sent them back signed. Yeah. He said he put $10 in the envelope, and Salmon took the $10.
Did he really? Like, probably, like, I'm sure he found somebody that could use it, or maybe bought something nice for, I don't know how old his kids are now, but that'd be perfect. Like, hey kids, let's go get some ice cream, like $10 beer at the game or something.
Right.
It could be cool if you like included a card,
My thought would be I would include like a little message like, hey, I'm a huge Tim Salmon collector. I'd love for you to just look at just look at my collection, just see all the stuff that I've put together of you. Big fan, it's something small like that.
I think like maybe a picture of like one of the boxes with a couple cards, and then you could include in your message. Me and my friends, we do this baseball card podcast. Would you be interested in coming on and talking about, because I would always love to hear the player's perspective of having cards of them. Like he just recently signed for Topps, obviously. So they sent him a bunch of cards and he had to do it.
Yeah.
Sign them. But what it was like for him, growing up, maybe did he collect? And then what was it like seeing cards of yourself signing and that kind of stuff? I always love hearing those stories because I think they're all different. Some athletes hate it. Like have to sign, like Mike Trout probably can't stand it, or some of those guys. But then there's guys like Salmon, who I would think feel happy when Topps said, "Hey, we want to put you in archives. You want to sign?" Sure.
Right. I'm sure he was like honored, to be recognized and brought back, because a lot of players, they do a game or 10 games or 2 years and nobody ever thinks about them.
Mm-hmm.
So, Salmon had a long career and he was pretty successful. So I'm sure he's not one of those, I'm too busy for this kind of thing, or I'm sick of doing it. I think he was probably just honored and like, yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah, and that's really cool that they decided to bring him back. Every time you post one of those pictures, I really do like his signature too. I feel like it, compared to Glass now, who's also in archives, Tyler's been asked to sign a lot lately. Once he became, once he went to the World Series and had a really good start last year, they put him in everything. But he just does a big T with a loop that turns into a G, and that's kind of it. So I like how Salmon's more compact and you can really see.
I'm not a big fan when it's like a check mark or an initial or like two letters. I like at least the semblance of a name, at least some scribble that at least looks like it could have been a full name. Lincecum he had like this little I don't know, opposite end parentheses looking thing, and that's not Tim Lincecum. It's obviously not Tim Lincecum. It's some weird scramble of something, but it's only like two or three little marks. But
great,
like a name. I like that. I like when I can see a name and it just adds to the card. So.
It looks awesome, dude. They really do look. They used good cards with good pictures. Did they? Oh, never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. I wish it was like a Fleer and Topps combination, because you already know what card I'm thinking of. How sick that would be. That nice big signature on it.
Dude, that would be like my ultimate.
Well, that's what you probably need to do though, is if you were going to send him a card or two.
That would be one of the cards. Yeah.
I'm going to vote for the other one being a base collector's choice of that one version. You know what I mean? The one that you don't have the card that does exist. I think sending him the base of that and having that autograph would be a nice placeholder until the prime choice shows up.
I think I would want the Fleer card. I think I would want that one signed. That is such a cool card. I think I would. The base is like the paper stock, like that, like fuzzy paper.
Yeah.
That would be really easy to autograph.
Silver pen would look good on there too, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd want him to do a Tiffany though, just because it pops so much on the photography.
Might as well send both and see which one turns out better, dude. I mean, it's not like you can't find a base of that card.
And I know you send him $10 and it's self-addressed.
You got to up your game. You got to go 20. With the invite to the Essential Credentials.
Yeah, just because I'm inviting him to.
Yeah, right.
But he said he sent a self-addressed stamped envelope and he sent it back, which is cool.
Just put them in the top loaders or whatever and send it back.
Yeah, I guess that's so it worked out, and I thought that was pretty cool. He actually said he's also doing an article pretty soon about Salmon because he's a writer, and so he's done a few articles. So he's going to send him that one and just let him know he did an article about him. I thought that was really cool.
That's awesome, dude. That's really neat. Hopefully he gets a little bit of exposure on that, because it's not often you get to interact with your favorite athletes, but I guess for us, our athletes are a little more accessible Because
right now, I would think so. If you're obviously a Ken Griffey Jr. fan, that's hard. But somebody like a Tim Salmon, anybody on the lesser end of the spectrum who's not just blown away with autograph requests and sign in for tops, I think,
easy to get a hold of.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But again, sending him a letter with two cards and the $10. If he sends it back, then
I love that he sent $10. Like
I laughed too. I was like, he sent him $10. He was like, yeah, a lot of times they want they charge for their autograph. So he was just playing it cautious, and it worked out.
I love that he kept the $10. That's so cool. Hey Tim, my friend Andrew sent you $10, so I thought I'd up the ante and give you 10 per card.
I'm a bigger fan. I'll send you 20.
Oh, there you go.
You got to remember, that would be memorable. I don't think I would.
Oh, for sure.
That. I don't think I would forget
send him like 20 or like $11 or something. I don't know, something like just a little bit more,
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. So I know it's a sore spot for you, but I want to talk about it, and that is the issue you've come across in attempting to buy some cards.
Yeah, I think we all have our kind of worst nightmare as collectors, and everybody in the chat that I see here, you, me, we're all parts of Facebook communities, and 99% of my interactions have been really, really good. Actually, in Facebook, almost all of them have been. Yeah. And when it comes to buying things, especially on Instagram, which I've done many, many times, a few of these cards behind me, I've had nothing but good interactions to report. Honestly, it's my favorite part of the hobby. Is make a new connection with somebody by selling or buying a card from them, and then you see the card in their collection or vice versa. Now you stay connected. It's always been like that for years for me. And I had an instance where it's really strange. I'll just sum it up. I got a card from somebody. It was posted in like a hashtag on Instagram. I'm like, hey, I need that Fleury. I don't have it with me because it's in a box right now and I don't want to look at it. But kind of hard to get the card. Took like 2 weeks. And he finally sends the card. This same guy basically said, hey, I have a friend who has some other Fleury cards for sale. And, at this point, I'm like, I've done the transaction. It's gone through. He shipped the card. Everything's good. So I think at this point, I'm like, I don't really need to question too much. So his friend messages me and sends me pictures of 3 Fleury cards. And one of them, I was like, hey, this has a better auto than the one I have. Much better. The one I had was kind of faded. So I was like, this is a sweet upgrade. Perfect. Didn't need to really vouch for either guy because I felt like things were good. And it's about 2 weeks go by and I start getting these excuses and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to, the spidey sense is tingling a bit and I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think we all, do that when we feel like we've established a good connection because he was messaging me plenty. I'm like, oh, this will be fine. Month goes by and I haven't heard from the guy. And so I reach out to said friend who I got the first Fleury card from. I said, hey, what's going on? He goes, I'll get in contact with them. I'm at the expo. Sorry. And I'm like, all right. Still believing it, and,
you have no reason not to at this point.
Yeah. Cause again, you know how we are. I mean, I always like to see the best in people. I haven't had any negative experiences up to this point. So I'm like, okay, give him the benefit of the doubt. So I reach out again and he goes something along like, I'm really mad. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go up and talk to him tomorrow. And I just, what's your PayPal again? And I looked it up and his full name is in there. And this is when my heart dropped out of my body. I looked up his name on Facebook. There were 3 accounts and 2 of them had the same name or this goods and produce, fruit and veggies picture that was on this friend's account. And I just knew right there and then they're one and the same person. I just right there I knew it. My instincts told me, and I looked at his messaging to me, and they both typed exactly the same, no punctuation, same misspellings on the same words. It just was okay, so I scrolled up to the 3 cards that he had and realized that they were all from eBay pictures.
Oh man.
So, I mean, at that point, I'm like, I'm just going to be like, hey, dude, I know what you did. Just square up with me. So I actually offered, I said, can you just pay this much back out of the transaction and I'll just make this go away. And he wouldn't admit it, wouldn't pay me back. And so at this point, I'm like, well, let's see if he's on the scammer page, whatever. Nothing. So it basically came down to I was the person that he knew because of the recent transaction that he could get me, and he hasn't got anybody else. So I guess Greg wanted me to tell this story too. It's like we all know, like the coining and dating with your name, that is 100% has to happen the first time you buy from somebody, second time, third time. Unless I was buying from Greg, it's like, well, you don't need to do that. Just show me the card and like take a picture of it in the package, and that's all that counts. So,
it really sucks just because, you know, you had one good transaction and then it's kind of rolled into something else. But like you were saying, coining is important. Like, unless it's somebody that you're who has time invested into a group, you know, if you're, like I was telling you, if you're 4 years into a group, then you really don't have to worry too much because nobody's going to ruin the reputation that they've spent 5 years building.
Yes, exactly.
And so that really sucks. But coining is important. Those little things, goods and services, when you're just not super good friends with somebody, those little things just kind of, they can help you along so you're not getting scammed or you're not losing money.
Yeah.
But that really does suck because I know those are cards you wanted, and just to lose money feels awful. You know, you get that pit in your stomach where you're mad and you're sad and you're like, how could this happen? Frustrating.
Yeah, feeling vulnerable, you know, but it doesn't have a happy ending in that the money came back. But the really cool thing about it was a guy and this is the best thing about the hobby, I think you'll agree with me, the connections, like the friendships we make. Somebody reached out like the day of, which was really cool, like right before, actually the day before, said, hey, my buddy has this card for sale. And it was the exact same card, like not like exactly, but like the same one, just different serial number. Okay. So I was able to get one back in my collection, which makes me really, really happy to have one back. Because, you know, I'd sold the other copy I had thinking I had a better version on the way, which it never was. So it was nice to be able to, thank you. I appreciate that. But like, you know, Ray and Paul, like people like that were really supportive. And at the same time, I appreciated, you know, people like you and Will and Ryan, and just saying like, okay, make sure you learn this lesson. Like, don't let this happen again.
Right. You have to.
You know, because it's bound to somebody's going to try to do it again. Like we've all been in the position where somebody starts to like give us a deal or something. And what's the old saying, Greg? Like, it's too good to be true. It's
right. You just can't do it. You can't do it. So that really sucks. I'm sorry to go through that. I know Alan had his own little mishap, and just his was exponentially crazier, you know.
Oh, dude. I still can't get over that video. My heart dropped when I saw it too. So
and you know, he took some backlash from people claiming it was fake, like he did a fake video or he staged it, because they just couldn't believe, they just didn't have an understanding of who he was and how he like talks. So they thought just because he was talking like so long and delaying the package opening up that he like staged it somehow.
You would have heard it though. Like, he's not, nobody's that good. What was the video, the group breaker? Something out of 99.
Yeah. Brandon Cook.
Like, even then, like, it was so obvious, like that the guy was like hiding the Tom Brady, you know. But I that was the worst part about it, is the people within that chat saying those things about Alan. You and me both know Alan well and know that he would never do that.
Right.
And so, yeah, you're right. That was definitely a really tough call. And I think it was nice to hear from both of you guys, especially Alan, after I talked to you, just saying like, you know, I've been there. And because of that, he and I both are extra careful now. And I mean, I got this amazing art piece coming, Greg. I can't wait to show you, dude. It's the best piece of Flurry art that I have some good ones. So I don't want to hate on whatever. give anybody less credit that's behind me, but it's by far, it took him like 19 days to complete.
Okay. Wow.
But when I was paying for it, I was like asking all these extra questions because he's from India, you know, and I've never bought anything from him nor had anything shipped overseas like that art wise. So I was like extra panicked, and I didn't need to be. You know, this guy's got art all over the place.
But still, like, it's so fresh. You know, it's like it just happened. You want to be extra careful. I don't blame you at all. I would probably be in a similar situation where I just wanted to know for sure.
Yeah, I did. I felt bad though. I told him afterwards, I'm like, look, dude, I'll have to apologize. I'm coming off the heels of being scammed. Like, I'm a little nervous here. And he's like, no, dude, I got you. Don't worry. And so, yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So I'm curious about this too. I know kind of what happened, but are you cool to share that with us? What ended up happening?
Yeah. So he ended up, to answer this question, he ended up going through Venmo, and Venmo asked about a police report. So he filed a police report, and then they ended up, after like a short period of time where they were just kind of debating on what they wanted to do, they actually refunded him the money. So he got all of his money back, thankfully. So theoretically, this guy has Alan's money and the card, which I actually was looking him. Alan sent me his name, so I was looking him up, and he actually was in some debt, some loan debt trouble, where they had a collection company. It was several years ago, but he had a collection company after him because he owed a lot of money. Okay. And so that was the extent of what I could find for Alan, but it seems like that may or may not. I mean, it's a red flag-ish kind. You know, like you have a collection company after you, and then suddenly you send a card, and then you get $2,300, and now you still have the card. So it's kind of one of those where, like, it is kind of a red flag. He was posting in some baseball card groups, and I saw several like thank yous, great deal. So it seems to me that he had made some deals. I don't know if they were the extent of the amount of money that was part of that Alan's deal, but he had been involved in the group, and he had made some transactions and sold some stuff to people who actually thanked him in post. So I saw that as well.
Now
it's kind of like your situation where he had made some transactions and then suddenly something happened.
Right. But it was in a small flat rate, right, Greg? The smaller one?
I think so. I don't recall. I don't remember what he had.
That would be hard. It would be because I've been just playing the possibility of it being stolen from somebody in between Greg and this guy.
Yeah.
Alan's a really sharp guy. If there was any evidence of tampering, he would have seen it, I feel like. So that's why I'm not buying that one.
Alan said that he sent a picture of the package, and the guy said that there was a lot of extra tape and stuff that wasn't there originally. So it's one of those, like, maybe something happened. We'll never know. He's the only one. He the seller is the only person who can really know. Did he put the card in the mail or not? Yeah. That's, if he did and somebody took it, then that's what it is. But
that's just a huge risk to take. I mean, he had to, if you do that, you'd have to think that Alan would immediately let everybody know in the group. You met through the group. You're going to hear about it in the group. Like, it's not worth the risk. So anyway, you're right. It's probably going to go unsolved forever unless
it will.
This comes out and says it,
Yeah, I mean, he would have to just, at this point it's over because Alan got his money. The guy's got his money and maybe the card, but he was a new guy in the group. We had really no. He was in a similar group, or not a similar, but a baseball card group that I was also a part of. So I got to see some of his posts and some of the things that he was tagged in. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't anything bad. It was all just like conversations, and he would show like the things he's picked up for the week, or thank yous to him. But it wasn't like an abundance. It was just like sporadic. It was something where he floats in every couple of months. So I don't know. I don't know what happened on that one.
Just never know. You know what I mean? Like you just never know. But like you said, goods and services, unless they've got a really good reputation, and
vouchers are important too. Like vouchers.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
So if you're unsure about somebody, maybe there is somebody else who can talk about interactions with them and vouching for a person. Because I guarantee you, if I ask about Joe Schmo and Alan, you, LaGreca, Rodney, if you guys say yes, I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, you know, so yeah, I would definitely ask for vouchers. If you're unsure, pay goods and services and ask for coining, you know, just to prove he actually has the card.
Yep.
It's
for sure.
Just three simple things. It doesn't take a lot of time. And you know, most of the time goods and services is a small percentage of extra money versus friends and family.
It's worth it though.
Right. Unless you're in the thousands of dollars.
Right.
Friends and family to goods and services is not that big of a deal. It's usually more of an ego stubborn thing. Like, I'm not going to give you an extra $7. And, you know, it's, in my opinion, if I'm unsure, like even people I'm kind of cool with, I'm like, I'm just going to send you goods and services. Just don't take it personally. And I'll pay the extra money, like the extra $8.90, whatever.
Yeah. That's smart move, man. Smart move. And, you know, it's one of those things too. You know how it is when you're messaging back and forth, Greg. You get a vibe within the first like 2 or 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get like a really good vibe, and still you want proof. But sometimes you start like slow to respond. What's the phrase? Whenever I'm called brother and I've never met them before, I'm like, huh? Like, okay, calm down, man. Like, we don't know each other that well yet. You know, just like the wheeling and dealing guy. But,
you can usually get a vibe from people just talking to them. Just if something is off. I mean, honestly, a profile picture can be.
Oh gosh, the scammers group is the best. You know what I mean? Like, you look at the person who scammed the other person. You're like, oh, well, I mean, look at the picture, man.
Yeah.
Not that I want to discriminate or anything.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes people, you know, you can't always judge a book by its cover. But when you're in the scammers group and you look at a profile pic, you're like, yeah, he's a scammer.
Oh, that group, I you know, it's so funny that it's like I subconsciously knew I had already been scammed without proving it yet. And I asked Will, I said, I need the link to that group again. And then 2 days later is when I proved that I was scammed. So like deep in my brain was like, dude, you know what's happening right now. Yeah, just go prove it. And
that's an awful feeling, man. I've been like, I've been dragged around in like transactions where I'm like, just send my stuff. And they're like, oh, I'll get to it. And like, just send it. Just put it in the mail and send it. And it's just taken a long, long time where you're like on the verge of being scammed. That's happened to me where you're just like, just send the stuff, man. Just go to the post office and send it.
Yeah. I read, you didn't call me that until I did a couple deals with you though, dude. So no worries. He's keeping some of my A-Rods very safe. I appreciate that. For sure. But I'm with you, dude. And that's why I too, like when I do, especially our first transaction between the two of us, because, you know, Unia is going to let me know. I took way too long on the very last thing I sent him. I'll admit it, man. It was not good. You know, we had some stuff happen, but no excuse. It took me way too long and I felt terrible. But in the first couple, you always want to get them out right away because then you've established that, hey, we're cool to deal with. Yeah, true. See? Yeah, I know, dude. You can let me have it. It was my bad. But I got this really ugly A-Rod patch that he hates, and I'm just waiting to send it to him out of nowhere. So he'll be happy about that. Anyways, but yeah, thanks for letting me tell that story. I mean, it has a happier ending, but you know, it's just a lesson for everybody because especially now with all the money that's in the hobby. I mean, you see it all the time, you know, hey, you want to buy my Jordan rookie for like $500? Like, okay, nice, get out of here.
Right.
If I asked him if I made groups. So then I went back to found a couple and I said he was it's a lot of work, Paul.
Yeah.
Man.
On that one.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to do your homework. So,
and I should have. I definitely should have. It could have been a lot worse. That's what my family was telling me. It was like I could have, yeah, I could have been scammed out of way more.
you could have.
So,
like I said, Alan was in that boat of a lot of money. So
yeah, dude.
it
Good thing
doesn't.
he got it back.
I know sometimes people get tunnel vision and they get happy to see a card, but it doesn't hurt to do a little homework just because you can't be too safe in this kind of hobby where big money is at stake.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody should test their friends from now on, create like a burner account and then send a fake pictures to make sure they're paying attention. Like I'll grab that Prime Choice Reserve and just send it to, hey Greg, I got a guy who's got this,
Yeah.
It's just, you just never know, man.
Yeah, to catch a predator, we can like cop each other.
Yeah, the whole cheaters is coming back, man. It's gonna be card scammers. They could legit.
You're being reckless with your money. You do better next time, and then
we could legit make a show of card scamming for sure, dude. I mean, it's
absolutely
like some of the stuff in the scammers group I read. I'm like, this should be a soap opera somehow.
Yeah.
Troll people in the group, yeah, no joke.
So, I asked you to pick out 5 cool cards that are doing it for you right now.
Currently, right?
Like not like the end all be all of cards because we all know what they are, and it doesn't ever change. But I just meant 5 cards right now you're really digging and that you can't stop looking at. Maybe it's new, maybe it's not, maybe you forgot about it, but it's 5 cards. So go ahead and show one of them.
Let me show one. All right, let me get a little bit more light because this first one's gonna really bring the shine here.
Okay.
So we talked last episode about what hockey did for the atomic refractors, and Greg, the 98s are incredible, but the 99s are underwhelming. So I asked you to, think about that design being combined, and that's it right there.
That is some cracked ice.
Right, but it's got the 99 baseball design in the background with the 98 cracked ice. So
is that the atomic? What is it?
Yep. This is hockey's version of the atomic out of 100. Yep. It's pretty cool too because Tebow is in his Blackhawks jersey still with the Canadiens mask, but he had just been traded to Chicago. Mm-hmm. So I really really like that one a lot. This set's been gaining, like, how could I compare it to baseball? Not quite PMG status, but it's gaining Crusade type status. Like it's really just like drastically going up.
So that I'm assuming the Gretzky's selling for big bucks then.
Last year, when like over a year ago, when COVID first hit, I remember one PSA 9 sold for like $2,000. So a raw would probably hit that, if not higher. And I remember when I first got in seeing that for like $150. So, hockey's caught up a lot.
Yeah, it has. All sports are just exponentially way better than they were. Some of the crazier stuff like racing, soccer,
Formula One and soccer, right. Just nuts, man.
Yeah, Marvel cards were even blowing up. So it's just like everything has. Some of the stuff is lowered a little bit and it's coming back to the earth, but a lot of it's not, and a lot of it's still insane. I would honestly invest in Beanie Babies right now just because.
That's good. I need this to happen. I have one.
Honestly, think
right there.
I think it's only a matter of time before these words. You're gonna look at this podcast and be like, "Dude, we should have invested in Beanie Babies because the whole cycle is coming back, and people are gonna be blowing up the Beanie Baby market for all this stuff, and then it'll die again and." It'll be gone, but it's coming back.
There's one card genre that you are forgetting to mention, and when that card genre goes completely nuts, I can buy any Fleury card I want. That's right.
That is the Disney. That's the Disney.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, those Disney cards. Disney Plus is a huge thing. Just wait till they do a remake of that one movie, and it's going to be like the newest, greatest thing. I will be sitting pretty thanks to you.
Yeah, you will be. You'll be able to have PSA 10s of everything.
Dude, I know. It's been beautifully put in a display case, just like I promised you I'd do. Because I sent you that Photoshop, remember?
Yeah.
When I got that, it was the first thing I put in there. Unbelievable. Yeah.
He says, I'm sitting on a pile of beans. They're coming back. I'm telling you, man. Everything comes back.
Dude, right? Ray is sitting on the best Ichiro collection out there. I mean, his stuff has just gone crazy, like way more than when I had his stuff. Like Ray, when the day comes that you need to pass it on to your kids or retire and go live on a private island, you're good.
Yeah,
it's awesome stuff.
Everybody's collection has some gems in it right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What about you, dude? I want to see the first. Now, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I'm hoping there's one that I'm kind of like holding out for. So see if it happens.
So this one I just got. It was it's a football card. It's one of my favorite. It's not Barry Sanders, but it's like my second tier favorite player.
Should I know who this is? Have we talked about this?
I'm sure I collect them, but I had been looking for this card a year or two ago, and I got sidetracked into something else, and so I stopped looking for it. But recently, I had seen a player collector of this guy, and he had a bunch of stuff in my football group, the Amazing 90s, 2000 Eruption, 90s Eruption, whatever.
Is that what it's called? Okay.
It's called the Amazing 1990s 2000 Football Card Eruption.
I'm going to find it now. I can't. I don't know if I've been.
It is amazing. It's an eruption.
All right. I'll find it here after we're done for sure.
It's getting some popularity. It's got like 200 people now.
Nice, dude. Good job.
Yeah. I've done it.
See, now you're the star, not me.
Somebody posted like their player of the set, and I was like, man, I forgot about that card. I've been wanting it years ago, and I forgot all about it. But my guy popped up not too long ago, and it was a reasonable price, nothing crazy. So I will show it to you. It is the Essential Credentials LaDainian Tomlinson. It's the 2004. It's numbered to 62. There's only 62 of these bad boys. I guess
he's got full screen this thing, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like now, is there texture on there, Greg? Is it kind of bumpy where I can see all those lines up and down?
So the etching, it's got the etch. Yeah.
Okay. Sick.
Yes.
Sick.
It's got like a outer space feel to it to me.
Dude.
So, I just kind of get mesmerized by this one, and I just got it in a couple of days ago, and I'm super stoked. I've been looking at it pretty much all week.
Is this the card that sparked your grab 5 cards that are captivating you right now?
This is it, because I've been looking at it pretty hard for the last week. And like I said, it's 62. So the similar aspect of Essential Credentials, there's another one that's numbered to 4. I'll never see that.
Wait, so does that mean there was only 66 cards in the set?
Yeah, I don't know enough about the set, but it would be. Theoretically, that would be how it works.
That's sick, dude. Because the baseball ones from that year don't look that nice, do they?
Not quite. I think they're kind of similar. I think they are kind of similar.
I don't remember the etching. I've seen the A-Rod because he's on the Yankees at this point, I believe. But I think it came out in 05, I want to say.
Yeah.
That same set. But that's sick, dude. So
Salmon's not in that. And so that's kind of why I don't have much knowledge about it. Frank was in it, but Salmon was not. And I don't have much knowledge about.
Oh, identical. Oh, okay. Of course, Ichiro's in there. Yeah.
It is identical.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I mean, you see a scan. A scan can't do that justice. Not at all.
Yeah.
So I've seen the scans of it, and even when you take, I'm curious to see what your picture looks like of that card. Like, have you already done one of those?
Yeah, it's a good picture. It's a good.
Yeah. One. Can you? Yeah, you have to send that to me because trying to capture the etching while the light comes off of it, it really presents itself better with movement.
Yeah. No. Let's see if the picture looks any better. I can just show the screen. It may look a little better.
Yeah. For anybody that doesn't look at Greg's pictures or hasn't seen his pictures are always like
Yeah, I try to.
Ball and oh, look at that, dude. Ooh.
Yeah.
Was that sunlight or like a light on the table?
No, I used LED light for this one.
Okay, sick.
Yeah.
That's great, dude.
Yeah. So, I felt like I took a good picture of that one. But I always try to. I'll spend like 5 minutes playing with lighting just to try to get the best.
Right.
Because I feel like when the time comes, throwing them on eBay, a picture like that is going to sell way better than a scan. So
yeah, that's true.
You're really putting time and investing when you take good pictures, because you're going to get your money out of. You can squeeze an extra 100, 200 out of something sometimes just by a good picture.
Well, whenever your pictures come up on Instagram, there's a clarity and like a sharpness of them, because I play with the sharpness filter myself, and I learned that from you. Like, there's something about them that just, even with the really plain card without any shine, like those salmons you've been posting, there's just something about a picture that looks like that as compared to, even a person holding it in their hand or having it flat on the table. That just gives it a little bit more.
I try to, even like you were saying, like the buybacks, I want them to be like crisp and sharp. I want them to look perfect.
Your wedding photographer better be on their A game, dude. Because if you get the pictures, like, come on, man, really, I could have done better than this.
Yeah, she's not even holograph.
I know. That's funny.
Yeah, so that was a card I just got. I had been staring at it, been wanting it. I didn't think it was going to show up because there's only 62 of them. There's the backdoor non-serial number version. I didn't want that. And then the number of the 4 I'll never see. But
and if you do, it's like
right. Yeah, it's not going to be in my price range for LT. Like I'm not spending more than like $100 for an LT card.
Right.
So that was kind of, I have in the past, but at this point I'm probably not going to. So this was within my wheel range of what I wanted to spend, and I lucked out and got it. So I was pretty stoked about it. It's been a while since I've wanted something and it's actually been available within that time frame.
Yes, exactly. That never happens, by the way. Can we just say that?
And it's like 6 months before you see it, So if this had shown up in 6 months, I would have probably forgotten about it, honestly, because I would have moved on to Beanie Babies or whatever. And so,
oh, geez. Okay, we need to find you a Beanie Baby of Catwoman. I think that would be the perfect gift.
Dude, I would love that.
Go put it right back in the right between what's above Catwoman right now. Those two, you got
Superman.
It's right in the middle. My second card is talking about like a side PC, and I'm with you. I don't like spending huge amounts on my Glassnow collection. Obviously, if he was my only collection, I would just buy everything, even all the really big one-on-ones. I would do what I could to get them, but because this is like a side thing, every now and then good deals come up with him because he's currently not pitching. And you know how the general collector and fan, what have you done for me lately? Right. If nobody's talking about Glassnow, he's not like, oh, he's about to come back. Like he's just, there's nothing. His cards can be had for very good deals. And, it's so funny. I even made an offer and I was like, this is ridiculous. I just need to buy it. It was like $50 or best offer. And of course I offered low, and I'm like, come on, Matt. Yeah. Really? Like if this was your guy. So for $50, I was able to add this 101 to the collection. And you, I know that you have, let's see if the camera will grab it here. You have an affinity, at least you did, with Gypsy Queen. And I mean, finding the parallel out of 10, the red, is impossible. It seems like I've only seen a couple from past years. So to be able to get the true 101 of Glassnow was, and look how awesome that design is, dude. Like how well the black works. It's like kind of the faded colors on the sides. And I really like the nameplate this year. Really
it's cool. It's like the counter, like the letter number counter thing. It's cool.
I can almost hear his name going as it comes down. So that was cool.
I love Gypsy Queen, and I'm huge into like black parallels and gold parallels. So I have like a ton of black refractors. I have a ton of gold refractors. So I have like a 101 in black. Man, that does it for me right there. That's
he's never made that chrome, because there's always like a chrome subset of like top 50 guys. And I've wanted to buy, I should probably go get one if I can find one for good prices, a Yelich gold refractor out of 50 from that, just because I love the thought of, I wish they would do like they did with Allen and Ginter, a Gypsy Queen chrome, like where the whole set is chrome with different colored refractors, because I feel like that design really lends itself well to having a nice shiny background with a gold border or red or whatever.
So. They do have some Gypsy Queen refractors, right? They have the
like in the bonus packs or whatever they used to put them in there. Yeah.
I have not bought Gypsy Queen in probably 2 years, and it's just because the prices went through the roof. What I would do is I had like a tradition every year I would buy 2 hobby boxes of Gypsy Queen, and it ended up being like $200, $250, nothing crazy, and I would just open packs. It was like nostalgic feeling of open packs and like just having fun. And I would put the base set together. So whatever I needed after those 2 boxes, I would just buy the commons or the short prints at the end of the set.
Right.
And then the prices just went through the roof. So I was like, well, I'm not buying 2 hobby boxes for $500.
No,
that's crazy. But I did pull like the best card of my life.
So cool.
Gypsy Queen, which was it was the Gypsy Queen patch auto booklet it was Jose Barrios, so it wasn't like anybody, but it was so cool. I sold it for $300 like immediately. I knew I was going to keep it as a twin. I'm not a Jose Barrios fan, but I could feel in the pack it was like busting at the seams. So as soon as I felt the pack, I was like, "There's something in this. This is like legit." And it was the booklet, which is crazy. I actually have this on my desk right here. It looked kind of similar.
Oh wow! Look at that. Yeah, zoom in on that thing, dude. So is that from the same year, Greg, as the Barrios?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
so this is the Frank. I wish I would have pulled that, man. That would have been sick.
Oh, you lost it. It's out of 20. So actually, wow. Made a lot of product. I didn't realize. I figured it would be like out of 5 or 1 or something.
They blew this one up, but man, I ended up buying this for like 150 a year and a half after. Oops, I ended up buying that like for 150 a year and a half after it was released. So I sold the Jose Barrios for 300 like the day of, and I bought the Frank.
That's good. That's good thinking, man. That you would have guessed. I got the Frank for half as the Barrios. Nowadays, there's no way that would happen, dude.
Yeah, no. I don't know what I would got for it now, but it's not 300.
Man, I mean, you never know with the market now. Probably been $1,000 or something crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, but
cool.
That was like I think the odds were like 1 in 14,000.
Right.
It was insane.
What a cool feeling, though, to pull something like that out of the box. It's not.
I was on cloud 9 that day. It was amazing.
I remember that too, right? It was the same summer we went to the National early that summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's right, dude.
That's
awesome. Cool. So what else you got there?
Yeah. Is it my turn or yours?
Yeah, go for it, man. I just did my black gypsy. The Frank doesn't count, right? Because I don't think that was in your list.
Okay, you're right. So this one is an oldie, but it is. I actually was talking. You know how when you talk to somebody new you haven't interacted with, and you're like showing off cards, and it's like it's almost like you're dating. Where you're like, so where are you from? Like, what you like?
Yes, definitely.
And so, you start over with all like new collectors because you're like getting to know somebody and like talking. Mm-hmm. You get to show you all your cool cards again. Yeah. And so this was one of the cards I was talking about because we were sharing our interests, and he was showing me some of his stuff, and I was talking to him about like what I had and things that were kind of under the radar because a lot of people are so hung up on serial numbers. But if it doesn't have a serial number, they don't really know about it. So this was one of those cards. You'll know about it, but
oh baby, yep.
It's the Barry Sanders holographics for my Onyx.
And they had the same odds in football as baseball,
right? Correct.
Unbelievable. 15,000 or 1,500 packs or something.
So I had been telling him, I was like, man, this one is like a sleeper. People don't really know about it. And he had no idea because it didn't have a serial number. He didn't know the rarity of it.
Right.
And, it's got like an understated shine. It's not it doesn't pop as much as the baseball, but it's still equally as hard to get. And the Barry does sell very well. So it's one of those cards that I like resurfaced in my brain, and I pulled it out and was looking at it, and I was like, man, I love this thing. I've never seen another one. I bought the only one that popped up, and I've yet to see another Barry Sanders.
I like that he's going out for a pass too, because I'm guessing there's not a lot of Barry cards where he's going out on a route, right?
Yeah, there's nothing quite like this. There may be some odds and ends, but nothing that is this expensive. So this is one of those like rarities where he's not juking somebody out of their boots. He's not like pushing through. He's trying to catch. So it's been a really cool card for me. And like I said, I have not seen another one ever. So I bought it the first time it came out, and that was pre-COVID. So I got a really good deal for it. I think this was in like the $100 range. It's not $100.
No, that's probably 5 times that, I would say, nowadays, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. And just think, that guy's hand, you actually shook his right hand.
Yeah.
Imagine that, huh?
And took a picture.
That was cool.
But that, like I said, that was one of those cards where I was talking to somebody new, and it just kind of like I forgot about it. You forget about what you have sometimes.
Right.
You show it, you pull it out, and you're like, man, that is such a cool card. So that's why that's in my right now top 5.
There you go. You're motivating me to pull out the Jocelyn Tebow box, because it hasn't got a lot of love lately, just because of all the Fleury stuff that I've really been hitting the Fleury collection hard. And so today a new checklist came out for a product that I'm like, oh, SP Authentic. They beautiful autographs, nice big cards with white borders, and he's not on the checklist. And I was bummed out, legit. So I'm like, maybe this is a good time to like step away from the Fleury collection a little bit and like pull the Tebow collection back out, start looking through it. So yeah, I'm glad that you brought this whole topic up so I could look at this and then start looking at them again. I guess for me, I'll go with this card next, just because, Greg, we've talked about like cool ideas for relic cards, for baseball or even for football, right? Like the eye black or the glove or something. And when I got this card in, came in early in the year, but I cannot get over how awesome this card is. And this is the Marc-Andre Fleury tape to tape from Panini Dominion. That's awesome. Let's see, there we go. I mean, they peeled that tape off of his stick, because they made some stick cards too, and then got it on a piece of card and had him autograph it. And it's only out of 20. Wow. I mean, and I love that picture of him on the back too. That's in his Winter Classic jersey. So anyway, I've only seen this one in like the 2+ years that I've really been collecting him heavily. And this really cool guy named Carter on Instagram just came out of nowhere. I've got some Fleury cards for sale, and this one I'm like, let's make this work right now, because it was a big one for me. But I look at this and I think we as hockey card collectors, we have it a little bit nicer, because all of our cards, minus rookie patch autos from the Cup and I think Trilogy, are all game used. Everything is game used, and to me that adds that little bit of like mystique to it, I guess. So yeah, knowing that the black on there is from a cut from a puck and he signed it. I can't stop looking at it.
Yeah, that's cool, because there's like, it's something different. It's not like with baseball, you have like the bat, you have the jersey, you have a ball sometimes, then you have like pants, you have a glove, batting glove,
cleats now too, right?
So that is really cool. That's something you don't see. I would if Salmon had something weird like that, I would definitely want to get it immediately, because that's definitely against the grain kind of card, where you're like, dude, that's something you don't see every day. So that's a really cool one.
Right. I even Ryan Molinix, he was like, out of all your cards, that one's coolest, because he goes, I would love to have, now that Freddie Freeman's been signed with somebody else, sadly, but Freeman had like, like even like the knob, like the little knot on the top of the hat, in a card, or like something like that. Even the button cards are still really cool to me, because they're just not as prevalent. That kind of stuff, just it's extra cool, and so whenever I go and look at the cards, that's the only card I grabbed out of the case. That one always I come back to, just because it's so unique compared to a lot of the others. So yeah,
I definitely understand why. That's really cool. I would definitely want a card like that. It pops.
I mean, eye black would be sick. Can you imagine if like Tim Salmon, like somehow, I mean, cause you'd have to like nowadays they wouldn't have it from back then, but like peel it off and like stick it on the thing they were going to make a card out of. I mean, you know, they could do it.
They could. Absolutely.
It's like wipe it off and then wipe it on the card. You know?
Or you were saying about game use. That's the big thing, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize I had to do this, but if I'm looking for somebody new, like a newer guy, I'm kind of dabbling in, I have to look to see the difference between player worn and game used, because I don't want player worn, because that's the equivalent of him just putting on a shirt and then walking around in the event center, versus game used. And it'll say like not from any particular game, you know.
Panini does that, yeah.
Right. But that's fine, because it's at least they're saying it's game used. I don't want player worn, because that means nothing. I do like the new thing Topps is doing with the little sticker where you back it. I'm not a huge fan of putting the sticker on top of the fabric, but I think they could probably put it on the back, and that way you can still look it up. Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, and I looked it up. This was the first game, which I thought was cool. This was his first game back in 2019. He started off like destroying everybody. I think he had like a 1.3 ERA, and then he was injured for most of the season. And when he came back before the playoffs, that was the jersey he wore. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, it's on top of it would be nice if it was like on the back, but it's cool to know not only did he wear it in the game, but he pitched in that game.
I love that aspect of knowing when and where it was used. I just think they could put the sticker on the back, like put it like on the back,
or just have like a, you know, like cards used to do. They had an area where the sticker would go. Just put the sticker right in a circle that's built within the design.
I'm good with that. I just, you kind of like can't see the fabric, you know. It's like your circle is only so big, and then the sticker's on top of it, so it's covering up a decent size of it. So it's just one of those things, but it's just a small thing. Just a personal preference.
I don't blame you though. It would be sick. I wish they would do it.
Yeah, I agree. My next card is one I bought at a card show in Nashville, and it's been a few years, but it's just one of those cards that I always like. When I move past it, I always stop to look at it. It's like you were saying with I always revolve back to it when I get to this player, because I have my players in alphabetical order. So when I get to this guy, this is like the card I'm always looking at the longest.
This player.
Of this player, yeah.
Okay.
I have a few other cool ones, but this is always the one that like tops. He's always like the number one card for me.
So you're going through and you're like, let's go back.
Yeah, you're like, oh wait, let me look at this. That was a good day. I got it for pretty cheap. I haggled with him. I didn't buy anything the whole day, and I went back to him at the end of the show, and he still had the card, and he was just trying to like sell some stuff. You know, he was like, all right, it's getting to the end of the day. I need to make some money. And I was like, well, I've got some money. It's right here.
The old like put the cash in front of him, and then
I got this like cash that I haven't spent yet. It could be in your pocket. So we ended up making a decent deal, but here it is.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dude, his signature. Look at that, man. That is like a legit signature.
That's close to Griffey, man. It's close to like the quality. Wow.
Yeah, like you can tell he really like put effort into his signature. And this card, the retro series, it's like that classic card. You know, it's like a really subtle, like they're not trying to do too much with the card. It's got like that simple design. The photography is amazing on this, and then the signature adding to it, just the way he signs it. I feel like I got a steal. Like looking back, whatever I paid, 100, 120, 50, I don't know, but I feel like I got a steal now, because this card, you don't ever see it. It always sells for like 300 or more now.
Yeah, dude.
It's not leaving my collection. It's just too cool of a card.
That's
and like
sick.
I say, every time I go past this, I stop to look at it, because how can you not? You know, how can you not look at that?
Dude, that's sick. I remember we talked about that, and how you already noticed, like as we were going to the national, like, dude, this card's going up and up. Like his autographs are not cheap at all. So you were really stoked with the deal you got on that.
I was surprised to see it at the show, and I was on the fence about it, and then I hadn't spent anything, and I was getting ready to go home, and I was like, man, like I'm digging that card. I was like creepily staring at the card for like 5 or 10 minutes. He was like, can I help you with anything? And I was like, maybe.
Yeah, I'll take some Larry Bird, Tom Brady, or not Larry Bird, but Tom Brady and Michael Jordan for that. If you're wanting to trade that.
No, he wanted Jordan or LeBron.
Yes.
Yeah, he was like, I need Jordan or LeBron. I was like, okay, but you got a Frank, so it's not really.
I'm sorry. There was some fun moments at that national. I can't wait to have some more next year, man. Sure. That was. I remember you and I looked at each other like, all right, see ya.
Yeah, I want $1 million, but sometimes you just don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. I probably should have said the same thing. I was like, well, I want all these A-Rods, but I'm not getting those either. So peace out, yo. That's cool. I remember us talking about that card a little bit, and he's got such a nice autograph. I mean, Dustin Abraham in the Super Collectors group, whenever he posts his Kirby stuff, I'm like, oh gosh, it's such a beautiful signature, and he's not here anymore. So
I know he'll never sign another thing, and I'm so glad that he has such an amazing signature. It's such a cool card. Sure. I'm a White Sox fan, but I can appreciate Kirby Puckett. I think the dude was just an amazing player.
All of us should appreciate. I just remember that one catch with, they had like the hockey plexiglass wall type deal in the outfield, and he'd bam up against the wall. Like
I've actually watched. It's on YouTube. The game, like the whole game.
Yeah.
I've gone back a few times just to like watch because I really don't remember that kind of stuff as a kid because it was so early for me. Mm-hmm. I know it happened, but I don't have the same kind of like memories I do now. So I'll go back and watch that and like actually just seeing the game. It's really cool.
Right. Yeah. YouTube is awesome for that for sure, dude. Well, we're down to 2 here, and you've been showing a lot of side PC stuff, which is cool. So I definitely want to show this one off. I'm going to take it out of both protective layers just to really get the shine on here. I've noticed in the hockey world that Panini did 2 years of Prism, and they did 1 year of Select. And as you know, and nowadays for basketball, for football, for even baseball, those 2 sets, they always sell like crazy, right? Like the newest rookie Prism is a big deal. Well, I have a little side PC of this guy right here. This is Leland Irving, my buddy Brennan Schumacher. That's an original drawing right there of him. I've really enjoyed following his career, and there's some rookie cards of his. I mean, they're how old now? They're almost 10 years old from release. So like finding rookie cards of a guy who played 3, 4, 5 games in the NHL, there's not a lot of parallels, just all basic stuff. So when somebody reached out and had this, let's see if it's going to shine real good. This is the gold. As you know, like the golds are kind of a big deal. I don't know if it's going to, there we go. This is the gold Select autograph out of 10. And I really like the way that the lines kind of complement it. I'm not going to get the right shine here, but there's the back of it right there. So this guy on Instagram, one of those deals, you kind of build up a relationship with somebody, a friendship, and you talk about what each of you like. And he's got all these really nice PMGs from all the years that they've done it. And he's also a Flames fan. So I bought a couple cards from him, some real nice Leland Irving cards. And then a few months later, after he's like, here's a couple I'm never going to sell. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I understand that. And he gets into a place where he's like, I really want to buy said card. I could tell he's like, I really want to buy this card. I need some money for it. I'm like, so I'm only asking because they're going to be going somewhere where they're not going to be like flipped. I'm not collecting Leland Irving cards to make a fortune. I'm getting them because I like the story of the player and I like tracking down these tough cards. How about this? And he had a 101, the one you saw it, the one I posted today, the Panini Prime one.
Yeah.
So he had both of those, and so he agreed to sell both of them to me, and he gave me a really strong deal in American. And so it got here from Canada in less than 2 weeks, and do that. It just seeing I have the gold Select of Fleury, but to have the rookie card with the autograph out of 10, that's pretty sick, dude. So, I mean, you know how it is. Those side PCs, man, they are definitely a lot of fun because it lets you track down something that your other players might not have. Different designs, especially with you with different sports, with doing football. I mean, you've shown me some stuff. I'm like, geez, I've never seen anything like that. So, definitely keeps it fun for me. And he has a lot of Panini stuff that I'm trying to put the full rainbow together of. So, I'm slowly getting there.
Yeah, that's I agree. That's why I collect, different players in different sports. And then I have Frank Thomas and Tim, Frank Thomas is in a ton of stuff that Sam did.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so I can dabble and I can have some Salmon stuff that I can't afford in Frank. And then I can play with Barry Sanders and Larry Bird. I got a Larry Bird jambalaya.
That's so sick.
So it's just like I want to have a little bit of everything so I can just be a part of the fun. So that's cool. I love Select. I'm a huge fan of the 2013 and up Select. I actually bought a basketball box in 2017. I think 2 and I got some Tatum's. And it was a fun time. It was nothing crazy, but I love Select. I'm a huge fan of this Select.
Same. I'm a little bit nervous, I have to admit, because I'm missing just the 101 and the green out of 5 from last year's Selective Glass. Now I love that rainbow because it's quite significant. It's a lot of work to put together, but I'm a little nervous because it's a big checklist. And I'm like, would they put Glasnow in there? Like, did they make this checklist before he got hurt last year? Because it's usually a year out. So at this point, he had just gotten hurt, I think. So I'm really crossing my fingers that he's in it this year. Because if not this year, he's definitely not going to be in it next year. So that's 2 years with no Select. So, but I agree with you. I love like the tie-dye and the pink and the green and the pulsars that come in the FOTL boxes. Like they look awesome. And I think the crazy ones, like a zebra, that's like the case hit.
Yeah,
so
like a zebra one.
They always look cool.
I actually have the 2013 Salmon Rainbow complete. Yeah.
He was in there.
He was in 2013. The autograph. It's the autograph rainbow. I have the whole rainbow.
Did they do a 101 of him too? And you have it?
No.
Well, I got it. You're gonna have to send me a picture of that. I don't know if you've ever shown me that before. That's pretty sick. I know I've seen the base auto because you can't see the logo on the helmet or whatever. But,
right. Yeah. So I've got all of them.
That's sick, dude. That's fun.
Cool. It's cool. That was it. He was it for him. And I have that was the only one he was in 2013, and I got the whole rainbow. So it's really cool.
Somebody was like, "Hey, I met Tim Salmon the other day. Let's get him in this set." Like,
yeah, I don't know. He was in it. I was grateful. He was also in the 2013 Topps Archives fan favorites. I got that. That's a really cool autograph. It's reminiscent to like the 93 Topps.
Oh, nice.
So that was cool too. That's one of my favorite autographs still to this day. It was like the first one I bought when I was coming back into the hobby. It was like
I remember this.
2017. Because I was like, man, I was just like getting back into the swing of things. And I was like, I would really love to have a Tim Salmon autograph. I don't have any Tim Salmon autographs. And then that was like, I bought it for like $15 on eBay. And it was like one of the key igniters along with the Frank Thomas 93 finest refractor.
The OG, man. You still have the Frank refractor, right?
Yeah.
That's when you got graded, right?
Well, no, that was I bought it as a PSA 9 for like $350, $400.
Okay.
In 2017, because I just got my like tax refund, and so I was trying to get back into cards again, and that was one of the cards. That was like the end all be all of a 10-year-old when you're looking at the Beckett. You're like 93 finest. Like if I could ever get a refractor of Frank Thomas, so that was one of the big ones for me that I always like revolved back to and wish I had. So that was that and the Tim Salmon autograph. I just wanted a Tim.
I think I'm remembering that you had it reslabbed, like labeled correctly or something like that, right?
Not that one. That one was labeled correctly to my knowledge.
What am I thinking of, man? I mean, it's back like 3 years ago, we're all talking constantly going to national. I thought you had sent a card in, you had to call or something. Anyway, maybe it'll kick in later.
I don't know what it was. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what it would have been. I did have a few things reslabbed, but I don't know.
I know it was a Frank. I do know that. I can't remember which one it was, but
it might. Maybe it didn't say refractor on it. I don't know.
I think that's what it was. I thought it was like it didn't say refractor or something was wrong on the label, so you had them redo it for you.
Yeah, it might. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it did not say refractor.
Okay. I'm good brain. I can remember stuff like that, but I'm like, okay, so what was I gonna do tomorrow in class?
Yeah, I think that was it. I think you're right. I think it did not say refractor. It just said 93 finest, Frank Thomas.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is refractor. You got to label it refractor.
That's funny. Yeah, that. I mean, it has to be.
Right.
It has to be.
Yeah. I wanted it to be refractor. So.
All right, let's see another card, dude.
That's a good memory.
Yeah.
I don't.
You're welcome for that.
I like remembered 10% of that, 20% of that. You remembered it like right off the bat. So
I don't know why some of that stuff sticks, man. Our Reese's conversation and that conversation are just banned. They stay in there.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did, because that was a lost piece of knowledge to me.
You're welcome.
But
aren't you up?
I'm up.
Okay.
I do remember it now that you mentioned it. But yeah, that was.
And here it is. No.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. It's one of those cards I don't get tired of looking at. But this is actually. I'll show it to you first.
Ooh, look at that.
So color. This is a Larry Bird card, and to the average person, if this wasn't graded and it was just in a top loader, you would probably think nothing of it. There's nothing different about it looks like your average Larry Bird card.
Although I'm loving the pump fake that he probably just gave that defender, and he's just gone by him and he's dropping that deuce right in his face.
Yeah.
Boom.
Nice. So this was the 1983-84 star set, and basically that was the first year they put a full star set together. They didn't have tops anymore. Mm-hmm. So and Fleer was not a thing yet. So Star took over doing cards in that short little gap. And that was the first year they put like a full set together. And they had like team sets and they had like a full player set. But they did about 5,000 full player sets. And for the first, it is believed the first 100 only had 1,000 cards produced. And so this is number 26. So it is believed, as you can see, there's a SP. It says SP. Right, yeah.
That's awesome. So there's 1,000 of that card made.
It is believed that there is 1,000 of these versus 5,000 of the others. So this card, if you go on eBay, it always sells higher, and it is hard to find. Only BGS grades Star. PSA will not grade stars because they've been counterfeit so much.
Oh, because they're easy to counterfeit. There's no real like telltale sign. Okay.
They're having a problem with that. Jordan stuff, is particularly a problem, but BGS will grade it. So you just kind of have to either know your stuff or trust BGS.
Right.
But this is always been a card like I go back to and I'm looking at, and it's like one of those just you don't know unless you know. It's one of those cards where you're like, why is that card so special? But it's because it's a short print. It's one of my favorite Larry Bird cards, and I do often when I'm looking at my greatest stuff, stop at that one just to like kind of stare at it, because it's one of those that's like it's like in the know card where it's just cool. So I'm big on it in this current situation because I'm just digging it.
Well, it's think about an SP in the 80s. Like what? Like why that thought in my mind doesn't even like unnumbered short printed doesn't really come to mind until you get into the mid 90s even. Yeah. You know what I mean? When they started like putting different, not even a parallel, but like the rookies were short printed and they weren't serial numbered. So, that's
83, 84, they did that. I can't tell you who knows how many of these still exist, because like from Tops to Fleer, you had Star, and a lot of people really didn't care about Star. So who knows how many of these actually exist, because I'm guessing a lot of them were used as like spokes, rattlers and thrown as darts and whatever.
I'm so glad we can't go back in time and see the Mickey Mantle card just like going through a bike. No, Brutal. Oh man, well that's cool too, and I like the green border too.
Yeah, really, I love really that's one of like the big things for that card is just like the green outside. It's so cool.
Yeah, sick, dude. No, that's great. I like that you have a little bit of a memory with it too, just like being in the know. I think that's what's really cool about cards is, nowadays that stuff's not getting by you. You have so much social media presence with collectors that when an Easter egg gets into a product, people know it.
I bought that card in 2017 or 18, so it was
$150.
It was about 110, yeah.
Dude, there's no way you're getting it that cheap now. That people would be calling you, like something fake or whatever like that. Yeah. That's amazing, dude. Sweet. That's if you had a display case, that would be in it, right?
Yep, absolutely. Okay.
Perfect. I sent you a picture of this card earlier. This isn't anything that's too fancy schmancy, but one thing I do like about Upper Deck is they continue to do like crazy weird inserts, and there's no number on it either. So kind of going off of your like short printed idea. My guess is 100. A lot of the black diamond inserts are out of 100, but to see black and white done on a sports card nowadays and have it look cool, I'd say that this card gets the job done. So this is the championship rings. This is from the first year or the second year that they won the cup, that Fleury won the cup, and he was a backup to Murray. He was also hurt. They don't mention that, but I like that they have like the fake ring in here. Yeah, it's also really black and white.
And it's cool. It's got like a holographic shine to it.
Yeah, it is. And here's the back. It's in color, so it's kind of cool. And of course, he's smiling. So me, I dig all the cards, but he's got a big smile on his face. So, this was something. This was on my most wanted list. I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but I have a visual most wanted list. There's a collector of Fleury who, like yourself with Tim Salmon, has pretty much everything, like legit, all the 1-on-1s, all the shields, all the way down to like the base cards. He's just got them all. And so I used his website. His name's Kendall, real nice guy, actually. Said, I'm going to grab every picture of like things that I can actually get. I'm not going to put all the shields in my most wanted because that's the only card like it and it's in his collection. So I grabbed a lot of out of 10 and higher and short printed inserts like this. I said, these are the cards I want to go after. And this one was one that came up. And yeah, a dude from Canada listed it with another goalie named Jeff Zatkoff. And I'm holding on to it till I find the Jeff Zatkoff collector who's like, dude, I can't find this card. I'm like, I am about to be your MVP right now, buddy.
Yeah, he exists. You just gotta find him. That's a really cool card. I like the black and white, and then the holographic shine on the ring is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool too because it's got some depth to it too. It's a real thick card, so it kind of looks like the top of the ring is kind of put in there, and they designed it just like the ring that they have. So that's a really sweet looking one, dude. Had to show that one off. I know that it's cool when I send you modern hockey cards, and you're like, ooh, that kind of has a 90s vibe to it. Yeah, I could see them doing that. When we were.
Barry and LT have like a similar. It's not got a ring or anything, but it's got that black and white. It's Panini, and it has that black and white background, like picture to it. It's autograph. It's really cool. They do it in like silver and gold ink on the black.
Is it from Noir?
No, it's not Noir. I'd have to look to see what it was, but they're really cool looking. I almost bought the LT of it. The Barry was a little higher than I wanted to pay, but
I want to see it.
Yeah, I'll look it up and show it to you.
Really... Awesome, dude. Yeah, thanks. Really, really stoked to get that one in. I could have shown off all the game used jumbo pads and stuff, but I really like how unique that card is, especially with the black and white. I think it's one of the only black and white Fleury cards that I own, so it's pretty sweet.
So I guess that leaves me.
The finale.
So actually, I'm gonna share mail day with you guys.
Are you about to bust out another 24 karat on me here? That was fun. That was fun.
So this will be like my cool card, my last cool card, because I'm sure it is a cool card. So I figured, what better way than to bust it out with you guys.
This is fun, little mail day action. We should make this a segment. Just save a piece of mail for the show. I knew it. As soon as he started doing it, I knew it. That's awesome.
There it is, man. The one and only.
Yes. Everybody in the chat, can I get a W, a whoop, or something for Greg? Because this
is it, man.
Is that the one too from?
Yep, it's the one. Alex persuaded the dude to make a trade, and I'm forever in debt to him for many reasons.
Attaboy, Alex. Nice work, dude.
Did it, man. He did it.
Wow, man.
So
As soon as you started, like I made the 24 karat connection. I was like, holy smokes, he's about to open the prime choice.
Yep. This is it. I knew it was gonna be a top 5, so I might as well include it.
Wow, man. All right, so tell me, how does it feel after all the years of searching? Because this has been like a 3-4 year search.
It feels like finding like the signed Declaration of Independence, man.
That's awesome, man.
It's like so just relieving to have a card like this because I didn't think they existed. I couldn't even find one picture,
That's what Greg would always say to me, guys. He'd always be like, "It doesn't exist, Matt. I promise it doesn't exist."
I'd at least be able to find one picture. And this was even, remember when PWCC had the eBay listing and you could search, there wasn't even one sold listing from PWCC on this card. So I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find a picture. I couldn't find it sold. I just assumed people thought it existed, but it did not exist. And so I don't know how Alex ended up finding this card, but again, I'm forever in debt to him because I don't know that I'll ever see one for sale or in the wild ever, because for some reason, I've seen literally every player but Salmon. It's so crazy. It's like a huge sigh of relief,
Yeah, dude. I feel like you're never going to see it. And we're going to confirm that Mark Langston hit up Upper Deck and they're like, sorry, all of them got damaged except this one and you can have it. Or 5 are going to show up here within the next 2 or 3 months. We'll see one at the National next year. We'll see a bunch on eBay. Really, but
that's usually how it goes I will see 12 of these now in the next 6 months. But
that's so cool.
It is a huge sigh of relief because it's one of those cards. It's so stupid. It's collector's choice. It's out of 100.
It's so stupid.
It's out there, but I'm not seeing it ever. And so it was a frustrating time because everybody had their player but me.
And it was just funny because you've got salmons that are way, way more expensive, much rarer, harder to find. Duplicates of them, even you got the Red Crusade, for crying out loud, and then that one out of 100 evades you for all these years.
From collector's choice. It's so crazy. It was so crazy to me. It was just a stupid thing where it should exist and it should be plentiful because I've seen every player. I have Hoffman's and Garcia Parras and Andrew Jones. I've got just every
and every time you open them, you're like, I wish this had Tim Salmon on it.
The picture's cool. They gave him a good picture.
That's sick. Yeah.
So it's just why can I not find this card? And Alex found one. So.
The collector's choice, though, it really made it because we would have these discussions well, a lot of it, even the hobby boxes were what back in the day, $30?
Nothing.
Yeah. So you might get one a box, one every other box. If you're not looking for it, oh, that's kind of cool, boom, and it's in the pile. How many of them got thrown away in boxes that were in the garage? Got just kids destroyed them, and then when they got older, well, these are bent. There's no way 100 of every player are still out there somewhere. I bet not even half, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Collector's choice got discarded very easily. They got just put aside in the closets. Nobody cared about them. And to make matters even worse, football and basketball and hockey have choice reserve, which is a non-numbered. Yep. And then you have prime choice reserve, which is a number to 100. But baseball only had prime choice reserve. So, unless you really knew what you were looking for, or if you knew about prime choice and choice reserve, you might assume that this is just nothing big. But I have to assume they're in a bunch of those 1,000 count boxes, storage units. Just whatever, but I have one. I can breathe. I can check it off the list. I can be done with collector's choice. Stupid stuff.
So you're done collecting salmon now. You've hit your peak. You can't go any further.
I feel pretty close to complete right now. I'll say that. I feel pretty.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I might never, the masterpiece stuff I may never see, but this is pretty close to complete.
So yeah, I guess that makes me want to ask you now. So now that you're your most wanted card, which is probably the silliest most wanted card funny enough, I had a Barrasso I found a couple years ago, and this guy Nick on Instagram's like, dude, I cannot find this card anywhere. I'm like, yes, you can. And he's like, I haven't seen him anywhere. I can't believe it. I'm like, whatever, $20 or whatever. That was just so cool. And even he, like you, was like, dude, I can't believe that I finally found one. So maybe it's not so silly to have it be like, I mean, like the Electric Ice Golds, those go for crazy amounts of random players because they never show up either. So
yeah, and I have the Sandman of the gold. You know, I have that card in Sandman, and this card I don't have. So,
so what's next, Greg? What's give me your top 3 most wanted? What's
so left? That's the Bowman Chrome Golden Anniversary.
Oh,
you know,
right?
The refractor out of 5. That's my number 1. You know, and then you start going into the like masterpiece stuff, which is 101. You know,
is there anything like 25 or more out of 25 or more that's left besides specific stuff? Maybe.
Let me look at this list real quick, and I will tell you because I need the SPX Grand Finale.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have that one.
How do you not have that yet?
I've never seen one.
Okay, all right. So that's we should put that at like the most realistic, most wanted, right?
It would be because there's more than 5. So the Bowman Chrome Golden Anniversary Refractor, the SPX Grand Finale. I need a starting 9. I don't have a starting 9. And that would be it, man. That's it.
You're not going to mention the Pacific private stock canvas out of 10. You're not, or the 101. You're not going to mention that.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But that will be a fun place for you to go later down the road because some of that like really low numbered Pacific stuff. You're just like, wait, this exists because it just shows up randomly of Tebow. I'm like, I thought I had that one. Nope, don't have that one out of 50, but I have the other one out of 50. You know,
Pacific's hard to track sometimes.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. I only pulled this card out because I want to show you how boring it is and how it never shows up too. But look at this Prime Choice Reserve of Fleury. Look how boring that card is. Like, it's very collector's choicey. And I remember when I bought this card, I thought of like, oh, Greg's going to like this. Like, it was actually like $6-7. Like, it was not cheap, but like, that's a 1 per box card right there for you.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is...
His other one looks really nice, but it's in a box. I only have a scan of it. And my scanner doesn't pick up silver foil. Mm-hmm. It looks really nice because the logo, like your holographics, it's got that same like hollow stuff on the Prime Choice Reserve logo. Looks really, really nice, but still doesn't even come close to the one you got. And they actually show up every now and then. So.
Yeah, I can breathe, man. I can just like take it off the list and like know it exists and I have one. I don't have to worry about it. It's done.
Dang, yeah. Shout out to Alex, man. He hooked you up, man.
No, man. I know I'm forever in debt to that dude. Like, it's like I feel just a sense of relief, you know.
You can actually go on with your life now and like get some sleep and everything.
Because you remember, I told you I tracked down the dude who he had it on TCDB, and I tracked down his like daughter, and I asked his daughter if he still collected cards, and I tried to get his phone number, and I went through all these like sources to try to get a hold of him, and then she ended up telling me he sold his collection and doesn't have anything.
All for a Tim Salmon Collector's Choice Parallel out of 100.
I know.
Yeah, it's a
good card, but. It's like I didn't think it existed. So I tried so much harder to find it, you know, because it wasn't like they're out there. I'll find it eventually. It was like, I don't know that this card exists and I need to know. I need some information.
Wow, man. I think that's the one thing that just makes collecting so unique. You know, we can have a card that's not necessarily like a 101 or a Red Crusade, like this kind of random card, and having your friends all on the lookout for it. And when somebody actually finds it, because we all were like, I know you were like, I want to find the Quantum Leap and text Matt like I found it. You know, I wanted to find the Barry Bonds, which I kind of did, but then we told him not to buy it. And then, I wanted to find that Prime Choice Reserve. Like that was the card I wanted to just like go through the box, like no way, which we did, man. We must have looked at thousands of cards, like
hundreds of thousands of cards.
Dude, yeah. Well, next year we got to strengthen our backs. I'm going to be doing a lot of lat pull downs and squats and stuff, so I can break out that stool that you gave me again.
Yeah, that was killer on the back.
Yeah. And but yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, it's going to be interesting to see kind of what, because you got all these side collections going on, so it'll be kind of fun. Now you can kind of put a lot more energy into like tracking those down. And if the salmon show up, they show up. But if not, you're like fulfilled now.
I am. I do feel fulfilled, man. Like the closest thing I have is like the golden anniversary refractor. Like that still kind of bugs me because I do have one golden anniversary refractor of one of my big guys. So to have the salmon would be really cool.
The grand finale kind of surprises me because like with the PMGs becoming such a big deal, the guys are popping up of, Andy Ashby and, Edgar Martinez down to, Willie McGee or whatever guys that don't sell for much with anything else. They're showing up because of PMGs. You think a salmon grand finale would, make its way. Does your arch nemesis own a copy of that card at all? Or?
Mm-mm.
Wow. It's gonna be a bloodbath if it shows up on eBay.
Yeah, I know. Like the SPX gold and grand finale look very similar. So a lot of golds will pop up, and I'm like carefully looking. Like,
please, yeah.
I don't want to throw $10 on a gold every time, and it's an actual gold. That's frustrating. So you're just trying to like look at the picture a little bit better, and nobody's listed a grand finale, and I've never seen one. So I'm in that same boat of I've never seen one. I've never seen it sold. I have no frame of reference for it now.
I got one card that's coming to mind. When I was collecting A-Rod, there was a parallel that I never found because it looks so similar to the bronze. That's the 95 Leaf, the gold. I tried so hard to find a copy of that. What's the print run on the gold? Is it like 250 or supposedly? Because there's no serial number.
Yeah, I don't know right off the top of my head.
Because there's the platinums and the bronze and then the golds or something like that. I think there's silver and then there's the bronze, silver, and then the golds. The bronze and gold look so similar when you're just like taking a static, no LED light picture.
Right.
And Matt Thomas Baker, he's like, I got a buddy who has one. And he got it from him and then sent it to me. And lo and behold, it was bronze still. And he's like, dude, I'm so sorry. Here's a refund. But that was one I never saw a copy of that card at all in the 4 years that I was collecting A-Rod.
I have the salmons. I have the rainbow. But, yeah, those were hard to come across, and you often got them confused with the bronze.
Right. That was so fun about the 90s, though. It was frustrating, but also really fun. And, it would be fun for them to Upper Deck to do that kind of stuff again. I know they tried doing the grand finales a few years ago, but they didn't have the gold hollow foil within the hologram. It was just the gold border. So it was basically like a gold. So no flurry either. So don't know what they look like. Oh, well. This was fun though. Great idea, man. I quite enjoyed. I think hearing the stories behind them and stuff is cool because I don't get to see a lot of your side PC stuff, although I'll go and find your football group after we're done going live. I got to check that out. You're going to make me think about finding football cards again, which I don't need to do.
I'll give a credit to some of my guys in that group, man. They're really keeping the content fresh. So they do some similar stuff with the 90s group of like hashtag, Merino Monday or whatever they want to do.
Right.
And so it's grown pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's cool to show off some of my side PCs and just cards that like I'm really into right now. Mm-hmm. And then I got to share my mail day with you, which the second time you got to see my
twice you've done that now.
Yeah, you got to see my 24 karat and my Prime Choice Reserve now.
We weren't live when you did the 24 karat, but I remember I was long day and I was like, okay, cool, let's see this. I'm curious what this is. And you just like that on the camera, and because I had no clue you found one, and then you told me the story, obviously. But this was really cool. It was special to kind of experience your friends fight, especially knowing how long this has been, and to think that you're like, that one's gone because he got it from somebody that played for the Angels, Mark Langston. I'm like, well, on to the next one. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I got to share it with you. I had a good
That
time.
was cool, dude. That was cool. Gosh, well, I don't. What's next? You know what I mean? It's going to be tough to top that, man. It's going to be tough to top that. But when that golden anniversary of the grand finale show up, I think that'll be really fun to see your progress of finding it, because I'm sure it'll be a connection. You know how it is in these groups. You know, like, you know, Alex will know some guy who knows another guy, and it works its way back. So
yeah, it's usually how it goes.
For sure. All right. Well, thanks again for coming up with the idea. I'll start thinking about something else, and it'll be hopefully we get Alan back from dinosaur survival / archaeology class. Huh?
Yes. For you guys that don't know, Alan is on a dinosaur bone class, so please ask him about it when you talk to him. Ask him how he's doing with his archaeology, dinosaur bones. He watched the movie, and now he's on this rant about dinosaurs. So just bear with him for the moment. But we'll see you guys on the next episode, hopefully in 2 weeks.
Yep. Sounds good. Thanks again. See you guys.
All right. Bye.